Welcome. Today, we're diving into a critical issue in the pharmaceutical industry. Companies blacklisted in 2026 due to regulatory and GMP failures. We'll explore what went wrong, why it matters, and what we can learn to ensure higher standards moving forward. Let's get started. Let's talk about why blacklisting and debarment really matter. These aren't just penalties, they're signals. Signals that something's gone seriously wrong. Pharmaceutical companies can face these actions for a range of issues, from poor quality products and repeated failures to serious compliance gaps and even fraudulent documentation. The government's been active, too. Since late 2022, over 960 drug manufacturing sites have been inspected, leading to more than 860 regulatory actions. This shows how closely quality and compliance are being watched in today's regulatory landscape. Let's clear up some common confusion around regulatory terms. Being blacklisted usually means a company is excluded from certain procurement or tender systems for a set time. Debarred means they're prohibited from specific participation, often in procurement, also temporarily. Then there's NSQ. That's when a batch or sample fails to meet standards. GMP regulatory actions can vary widely, from stop production orders to license cancellations or warnings. Importantly, appearing on a blacklist or debarment list doesn't automatically mean the company failed GMP requirements. Understanding these distinctions is key. Let's look at our first case study, Wings Biotech LLP. This company was placed on the PMBI debarred list due to products not meeting standard quality. The affected items include a mucotylator expectorant combo, ciprofloxacin tablets, and clobazam tablets. Their debarment runs from April 2025 to April 2027. The key takeaway here is that a finding like this shouldn't just prompt a quick fix. Instead, it calls for a full investigation, from lab results to root cause, product impact, corrective actions, and ongoing trend reviews. Repeated quality issues often point to deeper problems in process control or quality governance. Let's look at Mascot Health Series PVT Limited, a company that's faced ongoing challenges with quality. Their records show multiple debarments stretching well into 2026 and 2027, tied to non-standard quality issues. These aren't isolated incidents. They've appeared repeatedly in PMBI's debarment lists. This pattern signals deeper problems. It's a clear call for management to dig into possible systemic weaknesses, from process capability to raw materials, analytical and manufacturing controls, even the quality of investigations and corrective actions. Several products, like lactic acid bacillus tablets and clopidogrel plus aspirin tablets, highlight these concerns. Let's look at two very different cases from the pharmaceutical world, Vidiasha Pharmaceuticals and Scientific Brain Nutraceuticals. Both are blacklisted, but for very different reasons. Vidiasha faces blacklisting due to non-supply, while Scientific Brain's issue stems from a lab accreditation failure. This shows us that simply saying blacklisted means GMP failure misses the mark. We need to understand the full regulatory picture: who issued the order, what it covers, the exact reason, the evidence, and how long it lasts. Compliance isn't one-size-fits-all. It's about knowing whether the problem lies in procurement, lab processes, or manufacturing itself. Let's look at a case study that shows how procurement integrity is more than just a process. It's a compliance issue. Centurion Laboratories and J. Duncan Healthcare both faced serious consequences for procurement-related violations. One was blacklisted for supply defaults, the other for a forged bank guarantee. These actions even reached the courts, highlighting how procurement problems can't be confused with manufacturing faults. The big takeaway: compliance in pharma isn't just about GMP. It includes documentation, contracts, procurement integrity, and business ethics. All of it matters. When we look at regulatory and quality failures, certain patterns keep showing up. These aren't random mistakes. They point to deeper, systemic issues. Weaknesses in quality systems, like poor handling of deviations or change controls, are a big one. Then there's process control, not keeping critical parameters in check. Laboratory controls can also fall short, along with supplier oversight. Documentation errors, management missing recurring problems, unreliable supply, and weak governance all play a role. A mature quality system catches these warning signs early, before they escalate into bigger regulatory problems. When it comes to CAPA, corrective and preventive action, speed isn't everything. The best CAPA isn't the one that closes fastest. It's the one that stops the problem from happening again. So we ask ourselves, has this happened before? Is the failure specific to one product or is it systemic? Could other batches or products be at risk? Are we really tackling the root cause? And most importantly, how will we prevent recurrence? The goal is to move beyond just treating symptoms, and instead, correct the system itself. When it comes to pharmaceutical manufacturing, the shift is clear, from just being ready for inspections to embracing continuous compliance every day. Modern regulations demand a lot: risk-based quality systems, strong management oversight, solid data integrity, and effective corrective actions. We also need tight control over suppliers and labs, traceable documentation, thorough investigations, and a culture that prioritizes quality. Looking ahead to India's 2026 update, the focus sharpens on risk-based inspections, tougher audits, updated GMP standards, and digital tracking. Compliance isn't a checkpoint anymore, it's a mindset. When we see a blacklisting or enforcement action, it's easy to think of it as just a penalty. But it's more than that. It's a clear signal that something in the quality or compliance system needs a closer look. For pharma manufacturers, the key lesson is simple: build quality before the regulator finds the failure. This means knowing your risks, controlling your processes, protecting your data, and investigating issues thoroughly. It's about making corrective actions effective, governing suppliers carefully, monitoring trends, and above all, strengthening a culture where quality and transparency come first. Here, we have a list of key references that support the work we've discussed. These include various regulatory and oversight bodies, from PMBI's blacklist and debarred lists to CDSCO's alerts and regulatory updates. We also see inputs from the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, highlighting upcoming regulatory actions and risk-based inspections. These sources help ensure transparency and accountability, forming the backbone of our compliance and monitoring efforts. We've just explored a regulatory case study that highlights some critical compliance challenges. If you found it useful, please like the video. We'd love to hear from you. Tell us which compliance failure you think poses the greatest risk. Is it GMP, data integrity, CAPA, supplier control, or quality culture? Share this with your colleagues in QA, QC, production, regulatory, supply chain, and pharma management. And don't forget to follow and subscribe to the Siphacos channel for more insights on regulatory intelligence, GMP compliance, quality systems, and pharmaceutical excellence. That wraps up our presentation. If you need any more support or have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you for your time and attention. It's been a pleasure sharing this with you today.